So welcome to Options Trading Pilot, close to the end of the year. So what we're going to do today is a brief review and look at how to play this rest of the week. This is the weekly update. And all I'm going to say is people are trying to, the manager's trying to end up all-time highs. We just crossed over the all-time highs. Sorry, I'm getting this a little late, but I think it's safe to stay in and be bullish for the rest of the year. But let's go over things real quickly. My name is Guillermo. I'm also known as Proforma24. I'm the chief trading pilot at optionstradingpilot.com. Like, subscribe us, and let's join in this fun. If you guys are ready, check this out. I have the SPY going. This is the first thing that I do in the mornings. I like to see how we played it. Notice how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days with small gap ups. And what's interesting is that the trading ranges have been tight. You see that? Very tight trading ranges, which lead to a lot of upside. We are currently fighting that 473, 75, I think, which was the all-time high. Yeah, 471.88 was the all-time high. We're past that. So this is a good thing. I think they're going to be moving forward, and so we should see a nice bullish run here to the end of the year. I find it very interesting that we had the sell-off. That's here's my perspective. My perspective is that we had that huge sell-off, right? That was tax loss harvesting by money managers. That is over. And so what we're seeing now is we're seeing the retail buyers coming in and buying. Notice over here, the drop off in volume, right? So that kind of gives us the information that we're looking at, right? Which we were selling over here on the SPY, we're at like 150 million shares. And now we're over here at like 107. So 2/3 the volume that we had been experiencing before. So sure, it's below the average volume. But for us smaller retail investors, this is or traders, this is a good time for us to trade. So don't be hesitant. Trade nicely, trade smart. Just take trades. I would suggest taking profits into January 1st or the end of the year and just hold a lot of cash, if not all cash. So specific trades that I like to look at. I always like to look at Boeing. It's one of my favorite trades. Notice how it's down. This is all in the COVID fears. I would expect that all the airlines should be having trouble. You can see United Airlines is up for the day, but it's still, I mean, up since it started down, but it should see more this island formation. We should see a drive down. So just in case we want to look at some bear calls on the UAL, just in case. Although it's still forming a strong formation, fighting the top, but I wouldn't anticipate it having a really good move. You can see on the 15-minute bars, it is struggling to move up, as you can see. Southwest Airlines, we should anticipate a similar thing. Yep. So you can see that there's a lot of pressure on the airlines. So it's one of those things that's very important to keep an eye on. I've been looking at my trade ideas. It fed me a couple charts, but I'm not going to trade them. It looks like we missed the move. Let me share the screen. You can see really it's up 14.32%, but look what it's doing. Might be worth, notice how it's turning up on the 4-hour chart. Let's look at the 15-minute. These trades should be done on 5 and 15 minutes. Strong rejection on the 558 numbers, 492. Let's look at the 5-minute. Might be worth entering right here. Let's look at the 1-minute bar, which is when you should trade these types of crazy trades. You see it hit 592. Might be inching up. I would wait for this 1-minute bar to hit up, but obviously this would be, there's no options here. This would be a straight stocks trade. But just to kind of give you an idea of what we're seeing, I like to do a market review, right, of what we're, let's see, share. Here we go. So let's go back to the RRG chart that I really like. And let's look what has been going on. Notice how it's nice to see the cycle of what is going to be coming into favor. You can see that XLY, XLK are in the leading category, but improving is that XLB. If we're over here, that's materials select sector spider fund. That would be something good to look at and to move forward on. The XLF is down here, so I closed out all my positions on XLF. I do have one Bank of America trade that's out there, but that's specific to that stock. I was liking a few things. Currently slightly up on that, so what I would anticipate to move forward. But you can see XLI is also, the industrial sector is also moving up. So I really like that XLB. Let's look at the chart a little closer. XLB. Here we go. So notice that we're saying it's looking a lot like the S&P, but we do have room to get to 89.75, 88.77 is the current price. So you could sell a bull put at about 83, maybe 84, just to show you how we do these trades here at Options Trading Pilot. This is XLB. The high percentage trade would be, let's go over here, XLB. Okay, so unfortunately, XLB has a low IV rank. You can see XLB is at 20.22% on when I'm using TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. I prefer it to be above 25. Let's switch over to Tastyworks so that you can get an idea exactly of what I'm talking about. So this is XLB. Look at the IV rank, 7.8. That's very, very low. That means that on the curve, you can see this is the implied volatility curve. We're way down. And one of the ways we win trades is that if we're at high volatility for the period of that position, that stock or that ETF, then we can get a volatility crush, it's called. And the way options are priced, there's a volatility aspect to options pricing when we look at the Black-Scholes model. That's just a fancy term to say, hey, we're riding high on the implied volatility. We want it to go down. And why? Because we buy back. I like selling credit spreads because we add one more position that adds to the possibility of us winning. But on this specific one, you can see that's not going to be possible. Our IV rank is very small. We are now trading the February 18th options. And then we look at the volume. Notice how there's no volume. We will not be able to trade this stock. So we'll have to look inside of the components and decide from there what actual stocks we'll have to trade. I will not be doing that right this second, but you get the idea of how we do trades. And then I'm going to feed you one more trade that I'm possibly looking at. Okay, I'm going to my dashboard. And the way I do this, right, is that we are looking at a bullish crossover on the S&P 500, and then I'll run that screen. Notice how there's 49. That's a really high number, which means we're very, very bullish on the S&P 500. And the scooter rating is kind of like an RSI. So we won the strongest one. Look, of course, AMD, Tesla, Ford, Microsoft, all the ones that are here. Notice how Fastenal is industrial suppliers. If you remember on the list that we saw unfavorable things going into the leading sector, then Fastenal really fits that. This is how I set up trades. We're going to take a quick look. Notice that it moved back, this Fastenal. So we are going to now look for a quick trade on Fastenal. Let's see if there's enough volume and if there's enough IV, implied volatility. Yeah, look at the IV rank, 16.2. Notice earnings are going to occur January 19th. That's the win at our backs. So we are going to look for a trade here real quickly. I'm very excited that we can place a trade here live. I'm not going to go into heavy. Just it's the end of the year. I don't want to hold trades over the year. I just finished saying that, right? And here I am. I'm going to put a trade that I'm going to hold for a while. So let's take a look. The expected move is 2.79 points. So because we think this will continue to go up, we're going to add about 3 to here. So that's 65.88. So, oh, sorry, we're going to subtract. It's going to be about 59.88. So we're right here. There's enough volume here. So let's go with, let's take the longer one just because we'll get paid more. 4.58. So right here, we could do the 60 or the 57. I'm okay being within the expected money just because it'll pay more. Here goes 35, 270 to 215. That's we're not getting paid enough for the amount that it's taking for a buying power. So if we divide 215, we divide it by 35. That's a 1 to 6.4 trade. That's too much for my taste. I'm going to move it up to 60 because I'm confident about what's going to be happening in this trade. You can either take this 95.405 or this 60.90. I think I prefer that 69. Notice that to get to our 50%, we're going to be right at 81%. So here we go. We are excited to enter this trade. Oh, but look at this. There's no volume. That hurts. So notice how there's no volume on the open interest. Open interest is not enough. That tells us that we have to move to January where there's more. So the expected move is higher. So clear order. Let's look at this January one just in case we can find a good trade on that. Remember, it's a 3-point move expected from here till then. 33 to 17, that's not good enough. And this one, we're really on the fire of getting it. This might be okay. Again, this is very it's somewhat dangerous. When it gets to be like this, you can take this. The expected move, the expected loss is 205. But watch, I'm just giving you a little reasoning of how we do some calls. If we just go with the call, we can buy this at a lower price, and our max loss is that, and now we're not capped on the upside. So this may actually be a better trade than the bull put. I would prefer the February dates to expiration options because it really puts the odds on our side. Look at the odds here; they really drop. Whereas here, you know, the further out that we go on the bull puts, it's the better. 87% at 59, but look, we can go to the 62.5 and we're still at 75%, and that ratio is not bad. But all we can make is $82 and we can lose the 208. Whereas if I go to the calls, yeah, lower chance to win, right? Lower chance to win, but overall it's okay. This one it's fine. Our delta is lower. We can just go ahead and take that. I'm going to see if I can just take that. Yeah, I'm working on that fast trade. Okay. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great week. I didn't look over the market structure. Let me go over the market structure real quickly to see what we're looking at. Actually, let's look at the long-term S&P and Qs. Let's go to charts. Where are we? Is it this one? Yeah. This is all okay. Let's look at a long-term chart real quick. So SPY. Yeah, we're definitely moving forward on the SPY as we thought. Here's the weekly. We're bumping. Obviously, this one, a 475. I expect it to crash through that on the weekly. So as far as like looking, well, all I'm doing here is kind of getting a sense, noting the volume peaks. It's at 452. That's a hard resistance. If we drop, we should sorry, hard support there. So we should see support here. Our biggest support is down here, obviously, but we don't anticipate that. And then the next one down would be right around 419. So there's still a chance for this to keep moving forward. Let's look at the daily. Again, support 448. That's the resistance. The volume peak is, we have it at 468, 460. Now we should see this moving forward. So anyway, that's the short of it. Looking at the QQQ, you can see again 408.71 is the high. Not sure we'll get there. We should. We're right here on that roller coaster ride of the volume profile. We should get up here. So it'd be nice to get there before the end of the year. We'll take profits. It'd be a good time. So looking at the weekly, again, we are hard up on that, but we are moving forward and we should see it. Just the question is, will we see it before the end of the year? That's a 6-point move or so. That's a 5% move. That's what we were thinking. Let's see. 6 divided by 401.91. Yeah, 1.4% move. Yeah, we could see it. So that'd be great. Anyway, didn't want to take this too long. Happy New Year. Hope your Christmas was amazing. Make sure with all the winnings that you get from the advice that we give you, share it and give some people that need it, right? Obviously, just so you know, my 2 cents on that is that when you just give stuff to people, they don't value it, you lose it. It's better if you spend time and you train them right. You show them the love that way. Anyway, enough about preaching. Let's trade. Options Trading Pilot. Come visit us, subscribe, like us, join us. Let's do this.